and mentions that Dana White would be directly involved. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. Hope you guys are having a good week so far. Just wanted to stop by and share a pretty cool, interesting Zack Snyder update. Before we get into that, just want to give a quick shout out to any new subscribers, and thank you guys for checking out the channel. If you're new, don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy this video and my other content. So this is a pretty interesting story, I think, that we kind of heard a little bit about not too long ago. Previously, there was some talk about Zack Snyder possibly maybe being able to get involved with a UFC-based film. It wasn't coming directly from like a specific media source or Zack himself. The way it came up was pretty interesting. Rather, it was a royal member in Saudi Arabia, Prince in Saudi Arabia, expressing his interest and desire, his hope for Zack to do a UFC movie. He was really praising his, adoration for Zack as a director and sharing how much he appreciates Zack's work. Zack also received a Joy Award at an award ceremony there in Saudi Arabia, which I covered on the channel when that happened, which was pretty cool. So they do have some history there. I wouldn't call this a 100% confirmation, but it's kind of moving in that direction just based on what this quick little snippet of this article says. During some press and things for Rebel Moon, Twilight of the Gods, Zack Snyder, when interviewed by Real Blend, said that he's been trying to do a small movie. I'm not going to say what it is, but I was like, can I just do a movie without any visual effects in it for like 5 minutes? Then I'll go back to the insanity. I'm supposed to be writing this movie, and that's kind of what I want to do. Now, at that time, and even now, I guess it's not 100% certain what exactly Zack was referring to. But then the author of this article is saying that he was recently emailed from a source saying that Snyder's next film, which isn't planned at Netflix, would be set in the world of UFC. Zach Baylin co-wrote the screenplay with Snyder. It's planned as a theatrical film. The UFC, including its president Dana White, being directly involved. So, a couple of very quick little snippet of this article, but a couple of big things to point out, right? First of all, not planned at Netflix. Okay, so we know over the past few years, that's where Zack has been exclusively with the Rebel Moon films and the new Twilight of the Gods animated show that just dropped in September, which I also reviewed on the channel if you're interested. Of course, Army of the Dead that came out a few years ago. So that's where Zack has been primarily releasing his most recent projects. Exclusively Netflix originals. But this, if this is true, would be a theatrical film and not with Netflix. Okay, so different studio, of course. The article also points out a potential co-writer, Zack Baylin, and mentions that Dana White would be directly involved. Now, Zack also recently posted, towards the end of September, some pictures going to a big UFC event in Las Vegas, which is where a lot of UFC fights take place. He posted a picture on his way heading there, and then of course with His Excellency from Saudi Arabia there in Las Vegas. So I don't think that it would be a coincidence that, these events that are leading up to what now this article is saying, I don't think those are all a coincidence. I mean, it could be. Zack could just be going because he enjoys the event and wanted to go and was there and, took a picture with him, or and now this, of course, those could all still be coincidences, but I do think there may be a pretty good chance that Zack will indeed end up doing a UFC movie. Now, the article also says Adam Driver offered lead role. That could very well be true. I'm not saying that that it's, not credible or anything. The only thing that is making me somewhat doubtful of that is that typically Zack has a reputation and a history of like choosing lead people, giving lead roles to people that are not necessarily household names until he casts them, and then they do become household names. With the exception of some roles. Of course, Ben Affleck as Batman, obviously a actor that was not, flying under the radar when he got the role. And then, his supporting roles are typically, bigger name, at least in his DC movies. His supporting roles tend to be, more established household name actors. And, with some in the Rebel Moon universe as well. But, I think he kind of likes to, pick out these people that, not everyone in the world may not be globally known on a large scale. And he really has a good eye for that. So, which, like I said, a lot of the, people that he cast in DC were kind of in that same level, I guess you could say. And now have their careers completely took off a lot after that, including even Gerard Butler for 300. Zack really has an eye for casting like that. I mean, in general, he does, even with the roles that he has cast bigger name actors. So that's the only thing that I mean, it could very well be true, like I said. Maybe Adam Driver, is being offered a lead role, or in talks is one of the people for the lead role. But I would not be surprised that if Zack does a UFC movie, I wouldn't be surprised if he did choose an actor that may not be known on such a large scale. I do think it would be, pretty interesting to see Zack do a movie in, this world. It would be different from what we've seen from him in the past. I don't doubt that it would be pretty epic fight scenes. But with his stunt team and, the UFC being directly involved, I think it would be pretty wild. And it makes me wonder, what this story would be. So I do think it would be a pretty cool thing to see from Zack. And I would definitely be excited to see him, return to, theatrical experiences. I mean, Rebel Moon did have its select theater run, and we did get to see Army of the Dead in theaters. But, I think it would be nice after, having these Netflix projects over the past few years. It would be really cool for Zack to have another movie in theaters and be something completely different from what we've seen over, the comic book movie genre and now sci-fi, just something that we really have never seen from him before. Although I don't doubt that it would definitely still have Zack's, I think no matter what type of movie or animated project he makes, we definitely still see the visual artistry that Zack is well known for. So I don't doubt that would still be a staple in this movie, if it comes to be. But time will tell. The other thing that Zack is doing that is separate from Netflix at the moment too is the 300 prequel series, and he did confirm that he's working on that. I made a video about that not too long ago if you want to get caught up on that story as well. So I think that's going to be awesome. So, more really cool things to look forward to coming from Zack in the future. If he verifies this in one way or another, then of course I will be sharing that on the channel as well. It makes me wonder, what studio would it be with? He shared a picture recently at Universal Studios as well, talking about his kids going on the rides and stuff. Maybe he was there also doing business. We know Christopher Nolan is a big Universal partner now, so, or working with Universal ever since he said peace out to Warner Brothers. So maybe they could team up again. Who knows? I don't know. But if he does mention it or, post or share some more things that kind of hint in that direction, then I'll, share, of course. Let me know your thoughts on this. I thought it'd be, definitely an interesting thing to share on the channel. Check out anything you might have missed previously, but don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. We'll see you next time.